All right, welcome to Speak for Yourself. I am Jason Whitlock. That is Marcellus Wiley, that dude.
Yes, sir.
All right, we've got a ton to unpack today with Magic Johnson's abrupt departure as Lakers president. So let's get to it. Anyone surprised that Magic Johnson quit hasn't been paying attention or has been blinded by Magic's fame and charisma. Magic's a quitter. Last night was inevitable. Last night, before the Lakers' final game, Magic stunned his worshipers, the media, with a proclamation he's uttered several times before.
Today, I'm going to step down as the president. I had more fun on the other side than on this side because now, tomorrow, I would have to affect somebody's livelihood in their life. And I thought about that. I said, that's not fun for me. That's not who I am. I want to go back having fun. I want to go back being who I was before taking on this job.
All right, who was Magic before? A lovable icon. A brand leveraged by corporate America to create the appearance of diversity and inclusion. A pampered, retired sports legend, fawned over by media members and fans. The old Magic Johnson was a myth, a fairy tale about a 6'9" point guard who effortlessly transitioned into business savant. Modern American media loves shaping fiction into reality. Magic the Mogul is some of our best work. It's hard to deny that now. Magic just quit the Lakers because he didn't want the responsibility of firing Luke Walton. He quit because he didn't want to do the hard work of actually being an executive. Worse, he wasn't man enough, responsible enough, or professional enough to tell his boss, Jeannie Buss, that he was quitting. He told his worshipers, the media. He told the people he knew would excuse his act of cowardice. He told the people who rationalized his previous decisions to quit the Magic TV Hour show, his job as coach of the Lakers, his job as broadcaster for ESPN. Magic Johnson is my favorite athlete of all time. A framed autographed picture of Johnson hangs in my apartment next to a Reggie Miller jersey. Magic was a spectacular basketball performer and competitor. He's milked his playing career and huge smile for the last 3 decades into a series of cushy ambassador roles that have made him filthy rich. I tip my hat and I congratulate him. But his latest attempt and failure at doing real work has damaged his reputation and the reputation of other athletes who desire to be taken seriously off the court. Magic basically said he'd rather have the freedom to tweet random thoughts than the responsibility of running an iconic sports franchise. Think that through. As Black Americans, we complain we're not given positions of power and influence in the sports league we dominate on the field and court. Magic just quit the best job we've ever had, partially because he wants to tweet congratulations to Russell Westbrook. The Magic mogul myth is dead. Magic Johnson killed it. All right, joining the desk now, NBA insider and Bleacher Report writer Rick Bucher and former NBA champion Eddie House. Marcellus, I'll start with you. I know you're friends and Magic's an icon. Has Magic damaged his legacy with this move?
No, he hasn't. Look, I have high likability for Magic Johnson. You already know that. Our friendship, wrote the foreword for my book. I mean, a guy I look up to, but I could be objective about this. You got to know the totality of his legacy to know where this fits in terms of his legacy. His success has not been linear. If you talk about top brands as an athlete to mogul that we've seen in sports history, it's him, Michael Jordan, Rodgers, Staubach. Like, those are the 3 who have taken it to the next level and has been able to translate their athletic endeavors into great business success. But that wasn't always linear in terms of that movement upward for Magic Johnson. Even on the court, we saw issues with him. Even off the court and his HIV, and we saw issues with him. Magic has always been a killer with a smile, and Magic has always persevered. But Magic hasn't wanted everything he's done, and I think that's a part of his brand. And so to this moment, how does this damage a brand that's already saw low moments? And we always see him respond. So I take this as a case of excessive loyalty. We've all been on airplanes before, and they always tell you, in case of emergency landing, put your mask on first. Now, I've heard that with my kids. I got 3 kids here and my wife, and they said, put yours on first. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Magic got caught up in excessive loyalty when he saw the Lakers franchise spiraling out of control. And he saw Jeannie Buss, who she even thinks of Magic as a brother from another. He's not Wilt, he's not Shaq, he's not Kobe. He is Magic, the brother from another. And he saw them spiraling out of control. And he said, you know what, my loyalty to your father and to you, my sister, I'm going to save you first. When I'm winning in everything in this world, but this is the one thing I can help you with. And he put his mask on the Lakers franchise first. He finally came up for air. He finally said, enough is enough, man. I got to take care of myself and get back to all the winning that I'm doing outside of this Lakers franchise. He didn't damage his legacy.
Boy, is that a tortured analogy, because I want to take that mask in this instance, and I was thinking planes too. And the Lakers right now are a plane that is spiraling, that is heading down. And yes, the air masks fell down, but there was only one of them. And Magic said, I got that.
And he's big, long
I don't know
arms.
what else you guys are going to do, but I got this. I'm good. And essentially, I agree with you, though, that I don't think that his legacy is damaged, because the legacy of Magic is an idea and a presence and an image. And whether it's because, look,
Lack of substance, yes.
He has failed at a variety of things.
Yes.
And it has not touched Magic, the idea, Magic, the presence. So, no, I don't think this is going to change anything, because we loved the way he played the game. We love the way he exuded that personality. We love that personality when we run across it, when we see it, whenever we see it. The actual actions that he takes, those are really secondary. So I don't see this really impacting what his legacy is. It's just the legacy is not what some people want to make it out to be. Like, I never expected that Magic was going to come in, whatever his intentions were, and he was going to save the day with the Lakers. From the very beginning, I thought, oh, this isn't going to work, but it's going to be fun watching.
Right.
And, you know, in a way, it has been.
Yeah.
You look at Magic's legacy, Magic is known as the smiley young guy that came in, won a national championship, came in, won a championship at the 5 position, did everything for the organization, signed a $25 million. This is his legacy, is basketball, what he accomplished on the court. Now, as far as moving into another profession, and that's being an executive, it's totally different. I don't think that is going to affect what he done on the court. Yeah, you can bring that up if you are a hater and say, well, how great was Magic? People start talking about how great he was. Well, he wasn't that good at being an executive. Well, we're talking about his legacy on the court. We know Magic Johnson as the legend from what he did on the basketball court. So I don't think at the end that that's going to affect his legacy. And I understand I don't think that he takes criticism well. I don't think he likes to feel people talking bad about him, because he's been loved for so long. So when he's in this position and everybody is criticizing him and he's under this microscope, I don't think I know he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, and especially if he's not successful at it, I don't think he understands how to handle not being successful. But there ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, what's wrong with?
There's something wrong with being a front runner, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that.
Not if you stay in the front.
Yeah, not if you stay in the front, right? If you don't get caught, right? If you don't get caught. So I think he really just wanted to get back to being Magic Johnson, not the executive, but Magic Johnson, the legend for everybody else.
Here's the measurable. Michael Jordan, the owner. How has that hurt Michael Jordan, the businessman? Hasn't. Michael Jordan, shoe sales? Hasn't. Like you said, you get out your comfort zone, you try to translate to a different endeavor. We will talk bad about you, but it won't affect the bottom line if you are one of the protected ones.
Let me just say this in defense of Michael Jordan. It's amazing. I was a huge Michael Jordan critic when he was a player, because I was a Pacers fan. I've turned into the biggest Jordan defender here recently, is because Michael Jordan has failed nowhere near as spectacularly as Magic has on several different occasions, as a coach, as a television host, as a broadcaster at ESPN, and now as an executive, where the complaint is the dude didn't even show up for work and then just called a press conference, wouldn't tell the person he works for, and then said, and threw in lines about, I really want to tweet about this and that. This, again, as a player, the guy hangs in my apartment, and I have awesome memories. Post-career, there's just no substance here. There's a lot of money and a brand that's been built and protected by us in the media, but my God, he's a spectacular failure at anything outside, any of these other that require real work. just doesn't go well.
I think you got to tip his cap for trying other things, though.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't put his hand in other endeavors like, I'm going to try to be a broadcaster. Magic tried to say, hey, maybe I could do it. I got charisma. People like my smile. Oh, it didn't work.
My position, Eddie, is that self-awareness is not illegal to have it. I'd love to be a swimsuit model, but I have enough self-awareness. That's not my lane. And some people.
How you know? They got a Lane Bryant, don't they?
Hey,
some people have a
plus
lane.
models are in.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Plus,
so, yeah,
plus
so,
ain't in.
plus-
Hold on.
like,
Don't be enablers now. I mean, no, here's the problem. I agree with experimenting, and I agree. I'm good with. You know what? I'm going to try to do a talk show host. Oh, I'm not good for that. Okay,
Try
I'm
local
good with that.
first.
I'm going broadcast, whatever. This is different. This one is different, and I don't think it's going to impact his legacy, but you hurt a brand and a franchise that you say you love. You hurt a woman that you say is your sister and that you respect and love.
Hurt?
Yeah.
Without question.
How?
Because, and it's not that he did it. It's not that he left. I think you're pulling the Band-Aid off. Eventually you're going to have to do this. It's how you did it.
That's not
you
even
just
bad.
said, hearing, you know what, we would have tears. She would have tried to convince me otherwise. Magic forgot. Jeannie, you might have a great relationship. You might view her as your sister. She's the owner of this franchise, and she reached out to you to help her to get out of this mess. And you left it in a worse place.
Oh, no. First of all, before Magic got there, did they have the best player in the world? Before Magic got there, did they have cap space to get 2 max free agents?
Nope.
They didn't have either one of those. So let's look at numbers first. He left them in a better place. Let's look at the ethics and how you treated me on your way out.
Those are possibilities.
Well,
Those
okay,
are not
but those are
realities.
opportunities that you didn't even have the possibility of before
Anybody
I got
could
here.
could make bad trades and
I
get 'em
did
out of
it.
those
Give me
contracts.
that credit as you're going to give me my debits. Here's the debit. It's a weak moment for Magic Johnson not to talk to Jeannie before he talks to us. But everyone has been in this position before. When you're making an impossible, tortured decision, when you're like, I have to remove myself and distance myself, even if that's going to be perceived as weak, because I am not even strong enough to talk to this, to dialogue with
How about
this.
a text?
Hey, look, that's
How
what
about a
people
text?
do. People
No, I'm
break.
saying he didn't even do a text.
But hey, look,
I think a text would be worse if that's your.
Then holding a press conference and surprising you, telling the media first.
I'm not saying it was a strong
No,
move, but this
it
is
wasn't.
where I respect even Magic saying, I need even support and distance from making this decision. Because if I dialogue with her, I know my love for her. I love my love for the Lakers. I know what's going to happen.
How about an
I'm going to
email?
walk myself right back into
How
the
about an
situation
email?
where I don't want to be
How
it.
about they used to have something called resignation letters. Do they still have those?
I think
in the
that's
business world?
that's the lowdown part about it, that he didn't reach out and holler.
You're
After
taking
saying
it
that
worse
it's my
than them.
sister.
You're taking it worse than them.
Oh, no,
Did you
no,
see
no.
their tweet? You see their response?
They're tweeting respect. That's not what they really think, man.
You ever been around Jeannie?
Twitter's a stage, man.
All right,
that's,
press
that's
release?
but that's not a good look for her either.
Yeah,
And the
I
fact,
agree with
especially if you know Jeannie and you know how she is, for him to do this and put her in this position, it is so unfair. And for all of the assets that you speak of that the team has, the fact of the matter is they could have no one come out and speak on behalf of the team this year. Today, when all this came down. You know why? Because they don't know what to say. They don't know exactly what the hierarchy of control is right now. This left them so. The number of people that I texted to say, do you think that Jeannie had any inkling, any idea that this was coming? And every one of them said she had no idea. He pulled the rug on her.
I think people need to understand the Knicks used to be a proud franchise, and then just a series of events happened, and now the Knicks are a laughingstock. It can happen to the Lakers.
Oh, come on. You're telling me that? I've been saying this for years.
And now Magic is a part of that.
No.
The sinking of the Lakers.
Magic, look, this is interesting about Jeannie. I don't think that she was completely caught off guard. I don't think that you expect that moment. You may not know the date, but you may know the occurrence. Magic Johnson had a meeting with Jeannie. Magic Johnson had a meeting with LeBron. In those meetings, you can hear elements that tell you I'm in an impossible situation. And in that situation, now I have a choice to make because I walked into a situation that I thought X. It has now changed from what he thought day one being a Lakers team president to what he is at right now. I don't think that Jeannie...
You got to anticipate change in life.
Yeah, but you also could respond to it in the moment.
But here's Marcellus, you're saying he's in an impossible situation. No, they are in an impossible situation. And he basically said, we are in an impossible situation, I'm out.
And he told you he was going to do that.
He did say that at the
He
beginning.
said
At
that
the very
at the
beginning.
beginning.
When he came in, he said, if I can't get this job done, I'm going to step down as president. He did say that.
It's not that he did it. It's how he did it.
I understand
right
that.
here, out of the blue, at the night before the end of the season.
Sometimes it just hits you.
But still,
Sometimes you just know when
I
it is.
got to
It's
look
that
at
time.
the bigger. I got to look at the bigger picture and consider what I'm doing.
And you were
with
talking
everybody else
about
around me.
you were talking about him making them be a part of the organization going down and sinking. He's put them in a position to where he's going to have his handprints on that if they are able to land some guys and then they be successful. Right. You could look back and like, oh, he was a part of their ascension as well.
Let's not always deal in hypotheticals.
Well, that's the real that they got an opportunity to do. You need the opportunities.
Let's try to deal in real. If Magic Johnson thought this offseason was going to be successful, do you think he would have done that yesterday? I mean, come on.
Yeah, you know why? You know why? What if, you don't want to deal in hypotheticals, but no one was in that room. So here's a scenario, since you don't want to go hypothetical, let's be synonymous. What if they told you, hey, this future, power to you, keys to you, Magic. However, we want to keep Luke Walton. Oh, well, I want to go into the future and to get these free agents, and I don't want Luke Walton.
I don't think Luke Walton can attract these free agents.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, I have the power. Same thing happened with the Knicks. You hire him, and then you tell Phil Jackson you have full control, and the first thing he wants to do is fire the GM, and Dolan says, don't do that. And then, so where's full power really being exercised in this situation? You don't know what he was presented with.
I get it, but when you call someone your sister, and then you stand here as you're quitting on her without telling her, and you say, I was always someone she could trust. I was in her corner. I'm just telling you, when I start calling people my sister and brothers, and I got sisters and brothers, you're not getting me up out of the foxhole just because things have gotten tough. I just don't respect it. There's a level of loyalty that I respect, and if you can't come in and walk and have a conversation with me about it, I really don't respect it. And when you accept these executive positions and all that money and fame that goes with, there are some tough things you have to swallow. Man, that's the price of doing business. And so this whole conversation where I ended is like, are we man enough for these jobs or not? Or are we cowards and at the first sign of trouble, we're jumping ship and grabbing a deal, blah, blah. It's a bad look, period.
It is, but you can't clump everybody just because of one bad decision.
I don't want to, but I'm sitting here hearing a lot of justification for behavior that I'm just corporate America and anybody that sits in the ownership seat, they don't respect this.
I don't give him no justification for not having communication with Jeannie, because that is low down, especially because he's talking out of both sides of his neck. Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's my sister over here, and I love her to death, but I ain't gonna tell her that I'm about to, dip out on her. So I think it's a level of respect here.
Let's not get into conduct and behavior of corporate America, because this happens all day, every day in corporate America, and they get a golden parachute when they dip set before it's early. So let's not go there. Magic Johnson did what Jim Buss did. They both came into a situation and retired before they even started. Jim Buss said, I got a 3 to 5 year plan. If I don't turn this thing around, I'll go. Didn't turn it around, left. Magic came into this and said the same thing. If I don't fix this in a couple of years, if I don't get these free agents, I'm out. And it's 2 years, he's out. Now, let me tell you why he said that. Darren Woodson of the Dallas Cowboys told me this. Once you say you're retired, it's over. You're already retired. Once you start contemplating, I remember going to his house. I'm thinking about retiring. He said, you're done. Now, your body may be out there, but you're done. Magic Johnson, Jim Buss, the world always responds to that as like, yeah, I love that challenge you put on yourself, bullseye. The way you should read it is, he already saying he ain't all into this. And I'm comfortable without this. That's why in 2 years, I can leave peacefully and go on my way.
It wasn't a full 2 years, though.
No.
This summer was supposed to be the summer where he got the second guy. And he bailed before he even took a shot. Now, I believe it's because he knew.
He knew, yeah.
Nobody's coming.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to be sitting here in October when.
Well, they also said nobody was picking up the phone for Rob Pelinka. There's no phone calls coming back. No people aren't responding to his call. He's leaving messages. So that's part of it, too. If you can't work with the guy that you're supposed to be working with.
And you're told you are supposed to.
Yeah. And they got a strained relationship. I heard Pelinka was coming to the place like, where's Magic at?
But here's what I blame Magic for. It's like he's the business savant, the basketball savant. Rick Bucher said it at the beginning. I was saying it a year and a half ago. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson is not an executive. This isn't going to work. He quits. And I've been saying this on TV for a good solid year and a half. He quits when things get tough. Things got tough and he quit.
Would have been better if he got fired?
Yeah, that's the option. Stay there till the wheels fall off.
Better
But
if he
I'm saying it would have been better if he got fired.
Yeah, what's the option?
Either I leave or get fired.
Every one of you guys has hit a rough spot, and you've worked your way through it.
Not all of them. I quit on some. Nope, don't lie. Well, stop.
On my last marriage, I hit a rough spot. And that
See, I ain't
thing
going that
over
far.
with.
I just talking about Little League basketball, but I knew it wasn't for me. Bye, football and track, here I come. Yeah, you can.
So let me flip it around.
Had options.
Okay, maybe there's some where you thought, hey, I'm going to cut my losses, and I think that's what it really is.
Thank you.
I'm going to cut my losses, and I'm going to move on. But you're moving on to the next thing. Where has Magic stuck it out when it was tough?
To the tune of being a billionaire mogul, I'm sure something in that portfolio he stuck through to get to that. Okay.
Eddie House and Rick Bucher are back. Time now for a big story. Let's return to the Lakers, whose terrible year just got worse, with the team now plunged into disarray after Magic Johnson announced yesterday he was stepping down as team president. LeBron didn't address the situation last night, skipping his post-game media availability and partying with the team instead. But Magic's departure raises a lot of questions about the direction of the franchise and its relationship with LeBron. What should the Lakers do with LeBron James post-Magic Johnson departing? I say it's best for both parties involved to seek an annulment. Let's pretend like this marriage never happened.
Ooh.
And both parties need to go their separate ways.
No, I disagree with that. It's time to shine the crown of the king. I mean, give him full power, full control. I mean, this is an OHA moment. Come in here and make sure that.
Turn the team over to LeBron.
Yes. One, LeBron has not been able to win a narrative because he's always been behind the veil but pulling the strings.
Turn the team over to LeBron.
I'm going to repeat this.
Baby Magic Johnson. The next iteration of Magic Johnson.
Well, as long as he's playing like Magic, okay, yeah, be Baby Magic Johnson in that uniform, damn it. Here's the reason why. If you look at LeBron James and what he's been able to do in this 1 year, most people say it's a failing effort, except if you look at his numbers. Even in a despondent effort, 27, 8, and 8. We can't be mad at that.
People don't want to play with him. They don't want to be in his
And
mood.
you know what? People are not going to give you full value in trade because they're going to use drama tax against you as well. So when you want that annulment, then you just wiggle him out there and you say, I said LeBron. And then they keep telling you low level. And you're like, I said LeBron. LeBron right now is best suited to be what he is a Laker. The Lakers have been here before. Kobe Bryant nearly exploded on the court. And they still gave him a 2-year, $50 million contract. You know why? He's box office.
It didn't
Let
work
this
out
man,
well.
Huh?
Kobe won 5 championships here. LeBron don't want to be here anymore, man.
LeBron wants to be here, and
business.
LeBron doesn't want, as you would say, quit on this situation. LeBron should be front and center in front of the veil and allow him to have complete control to fix this.
If I'm the Lakers, I'm exploring all options just at this point right now. I need to know exactly, can I get any free agents to pair with LeBron? Because with the roster they got right now, they got 8 roster spots, including LeBron, and they don't really have a lot right there. They need a couple pieces and then a few more pieces after that. So I have to see, am I going to be able to land some of these free agents and then put together a few veterans that are solid, that I can trust, that I can put out there to be a rotation player. If I can't start seeing that, then I got to explore the option. Do I trade LeBron?
35-year-old LeBron.
I mean, I might have to just to see. Somebody might be thirsty. And I don't know. That's why I said I'm going to explore my options. I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it out there and see what I could get. And because at this point, you have to explore everything. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket.
This is the lowest value you would ever have.
They did that with the trade, though. I think they thought everything was going to work. The trade was going to work out. AD was going to be there. It didn't work out, and everything was in shambles. So right here, I think you got to explore all options. Keep everything in-house. Don't allow anybody to know what you're thinking, and then go forward from there.
I'm glad I'm here because I've explored these options. I've asked teams, what if LeBron were available? And this was at the beginning of any idea that it's crazy the idea that you would trade LeBron James.
Right.
But just let's say, what if? And I had one owner told me, we probably wouldn't make that move right now for where our team is, because we don't want a guy who doesn't seem committed, and the price would be too high for where we are. I had another owner say, yeah, I would do it, but I'd give you a protected first and maybe a young player. This is the problem, is that you're not going to get enough back to say we can launch ourselves in another direction. And this is LA, it's Hollywood. You have to have a star who sells. They signed Kobe Bryant because they knew even if the team was bad, people were going to want to come to see Kobe Bryant.
Preach.
I don't know if you can build a team that's, in fact, I know you can't build a team that's going to win a championship, which was the whole idea with LeBron coming here, but you can build a competitive team that gets to the playoffs, and you still have that show pony in LeBron James.
And
Why
sells
does
out
LeBron
staple.
want to be here at this point?
Because he didn't come here for the Lakers. He came here to be a movie mogul. He came here for LA. He didn't come here for the Lakers.
His son and family.
And
Exactly.
now LA isn't really enamored with LeBron.
The Lakers
And
fans
They never
aren't.
was.
The Lakers fans
Lakers
aren't.
fans really never were.
Yeah, that's
Boy, that's on LeBron as well. You can't send out the tweet, I'm going to be at Blaze Pizza, I'm not going to show up. I don't do an intro press conference. I don't go to the Christmas party or the intro to the season party. Last night, I'm not available. I'm going to go party with the homies.
I think y'all underestimating
But they
LeBron
still love him.
wants out.
No.
I think at this point, it makes sense. It's high risk to stay here, to continue to damage. We done started a whole conversation about Kobe now.
What's his
being
option?
better than LeBron.
Faithful is his options. What is his
Again,
option?
LeBron's always gonna have options.
I need
he's like
one.
a very. He's
I'll give you one. I'll give you one.
Knicks.
Right now, the Milwaukee Bucks are desperate to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo. If they said Giannis, and I think Giannis's mindset is in a different place, and this is speculative, hypothetical. We're going to bring LeBron in because we want you to play for a championship right now. That's how much you mean to us, that we'll go and get LeBron and bring him in here. We don't want you going to him. We'll bring him in here, and we'll trade whatever we need in order to get him here. But outside of that, and that was brought to me by a GM. Like, this is one instance, because Milwaukee's going to be the next team with a superstar that's trying to keep him there.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it gets
Let me
difficult.
ask you this one, Rick.
Yeah.
If LeBron packages himself with Kyrie,
Yeah.
did the Knicks really say no?
Well, KD's already.
Where's KD? I mean,
No. Kyrie seems to
hypotheticals.
have a love affair with LeBron James.
He's got as much of one with KD, and KD's younger, and there's more flexibility there.
yeah.
So
Not happening. He's not going anywhere. Family, his kids.
see, that's the thing.
You're not
He's living where he
uprooting.
wants to live. His kid's going to school where he wants to go to school,
Yeah.
and he's able to take. This
Yeah,
is the
LeBron's
difference.
afraid to move.
but
We've
this is-
seen, he's really
No,
At
no,
this
no,
stage of his career?
But this is the first time he moved, and this wasn't a basketball move. This was never a basketball move. He didn't care who was on the roster before he signed up. That's the first time he's ever done that. He's taking, you look at all of the productions that he has going on. Do you think he really can do that from afar? No, the fact that he's in town and he can take these meetings and he can have all these connections, that's what's driving him.
Once his basketball brand dips, and it's going to dip further.
It just
after
dipped this
season.
year.
It just
Yeah,
dipped this year.
no. Once it further dips, all that business that you're talking about becomes less high profile, less important. LeBron's platform is built off of the chase of Michael Jordan. And when he basically waves a true white flag,
those Wizards
it
years
diminishes
killed
him.
Michael Jordan. Where's Michael Jordan now? Kobe in his last years when he was playing with no Achilles and
understand-
knees.
do you
How did
gotta
that affect Kobe?
You got to understand.
These years
I'm not
don't
talking-
count. They
Listen,
count now, they don't count later.
When Michael was in Washington, he was already the GOAT. He wasn't chasing anybody. That was just some extra gravy he threw our way. No one cares. That has no impact. Kobe's got the injury excuse and all kinds of stuff to rationalize his last couple of years. And Kobe's only elevated because LeBron has fallen. Kobe wasn't even.
You don't have to retire the GOAT to translate that into being a global brand, into the mega star. Look,
What section of the LA Times was LeBron just on the cover of? And what was he on the cover of for?
Calendar?
Yes, it was the feature section. And what did it have to do with? his movie interests. Didn't have anything to do with basketball. He's already made the transition to where he wants to go. What's going on right now is not going to impact that. He's already planted his flag. He's not going to uproot that just to go play some more basketball someplace else to do what?
He just came to a 35-win team. He told you basketball is
And to that point, it seems like he has 1 foot in and 1 foot out, right? Like he's not totally committed. So if I'm the Lakers, like I don't care. If I don't want a guy that's not fully committed to this team to winning, so I'm gonna explore option. That young player in that protected first round might be a good deal for me. And there's going to be other teams. If you talk to every last team in the league, there's going to be a team that will bite on LeBron James and give him what you want.
I'll tell you what. The Houston Rockets, if this doesn't go well, Daryl Morey's always looking to reinvent that thing. Now, you think about him bringing LeBron James to Houston with CP or with James Harden or whatever it might be. I mean, there are some sexy options.
How many people have come out here to be superstars in L.A. and ended up on a stripper pole?
How many of them?
How many are already superstars when they got on the pole?
How many of them were LeBron James?
You got to get on the pole.
Saying,
He ain't getting on the pole.
He was Cleveland,
He ain't on the pole.
Miami. There's different versions of the pole. There's different all of them. There's different versions. And so
He owns the club. Yeah, exactly. He owns the club. He ain't on the pole. Don't do that.
It's time for That Dude's Dudes. Marcellus, what you got?
Lakers looking for a front court. Here we go. Big dog bullies on the block. Let's go to That Dude's Dudes this week. Number 3. It's actually an AAU referee. Blow the whistle out here. Look at my man. Referee goes up and does the East Bay on these boards. Using that trampoline right there. Shout out to Caden Reynolds on Instagram who put this up, 10s all around. He hit him with that East Bay. Look at all them dudes who actually play ball like, nah, we might have to switch uniforms. I see you right there, ref. Random ref. You're number 3 this week. Now let's go to the national championship game. Virginia Cavaliers, DeAndre Hunter, like a champion. Let's see Ty Jerome bringing the ball up, goes over a screen.
It's crazy.
And gets past the defender, realizes, oh, look how open it is in the lane. And then, as he does his slow pursuit to the empty lane, look at these Red Raiders out there saying, oh, help defense, help defense. Y'all just let a lottery pick out there in the corner. Oh, my man, DeAndre Hunter, wide open, hits the 3. Now look at this again. Texas Tech matched up on the perimeter, but they had to collapse. And as you can see, look at the distance between right here. Oh, 17.3. That's a Prius right there.
Right thing.
You know, get in the carpool lane by yourself, too.
Francis
right
is supposed
there.
to go to the corner.
Will you stop talking and talk to them and talking to me? DeAndre Hunter out there like a champion. See you in the lotto, big dog. Number 2, that dude of the week. Eddie House over here. Just tell them. Lakers center JaVale McGee is number 1. Mission impossible. Hosting the Jazz. This is all before Magic quit, so this is good. Lakers getting into the offense late. KCP. Oh, dumps it into JaVale McGee. A little late, 6 seconds left. Oh, more than 15 feet to cover. This is your mission should you choose to accept it. JaVale backs. Ooh, backs the Stifle Tower down and hits him with that yanya. This is how you do that. Combat mode right now. Booty bumping, shoulder shoving, up and under. Oh, you think 15 feet ain't far? Ah! And hit him with that. I wonder you're going to be on the team next year. You should, big dog. Don't worry about your GM and team president. You still number 1, that dude of the week, JaVale McGee.
All right, thank you, Marcellus.
Not quitting either.
All right, let's move to a couple of legendary dudes, Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki, who both received emotional tributes from their teams and fans in their final home games last night. Both of these guys will be remembered as their franchise's greatest player, and both are clear first-ballot Hall of Famers, filling up their resumes with accomplishments, with Wade winning 3 titles, a Finals MVP, and a scoring title, while Dirk won an MVP, a Finals MVP, 1 title, and finishes his career 6th on the all-time scoring list. Question here is, who had the more memorable career? I'm going to say Dirk Nowitzki. It's very close. Because we're not arguing about who's the better player. It's whose career is more memorable. And I just think Dirk basically created the stretch 4 position. He'll be remembered for that. And I think taking out the Heatles, the first iteration of LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh, I just think that's unforgettable.
I've never seen you shook like that. Gabrielle Union got you, huh? You're like, oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Dirk. Gabby the homie, I'm going to say it with my chest like you should have. It's Dirk. More memorable is Dirk. I remember when Dirk came in the league, we all did. Man, he's 7 feet, but damn, will he ever get in the paint? Will he dunk? Is there going to be a guy from overseas that ever really makes an impact in this league, especially as a big? He came in those years. And then what happened? What they go out there and win? 67 games, and he becomes the NBA MVP. We're like, oh, now it's all coming together. And then he had to wear that stigma, that tag of how you lose as a 1 seed to an 8 seed for 4 years. Then he went out there and went against the Heatles, and we were like, there's no way. Second best player on your team, respect our homie, Jason Terry. That's not going to do it against LeBron in his prime, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. And then remember when Dirk was coughing and sick in the tunnel and they started sunning him? And Dirk went out there and said, elbow, 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 and came back and won that series. From then, these are memories. Not to slight Dwayne Wade, and he has a ton of memories, but the ones that are going to stick out in terms of impact and influence, Kevin Durant borrowed some of his game from a Dirk Nowitzki. I have to go with Dirk.
This is going to sound like I'm hating on Dirk. For all the things you guys just said about it, especially the Heatles thing, because I was a part of that. I was on the other end of it. But I'm going to tell you why I say it, and I'm not. They both had great careers. But more memorable, D-Wade, Flash. He had all the flash plays. He was a scoring champ. He high flyer above the rim, blocking shots. I mean, you talk about Euro steps, half-court shots, buzzer beaters. He did everything. He had all of the plays to where if you watch his highlights, you like, man, or watching the game, you could watch one play and be like, Dwayne Wade is amazing. Dirk was boring. And I hate to say it because he's a jump shooter, but Dirk was boring. You had to watch the whole game to be like, man, he put in work. He ended up putting in work. You see him shoot a jumper. It wasn't anything that made you be like, man, this guy is a killer.
Shooter.
I am a shooter. I'm keeping it real, though.
Boring.
It's not boring.
A jumper that wet.
No.
That arts.
No, it is boring for the fan to watch. It's like, okay, would you rather see a guy go dunk on somebody or go beat up a shot, or would you rather see a dude shoot an elbow jumper? I mean, you want to see the guy with the exciting plays, and that's why I think D-Wade is more memorable because he has way more exciting plays. The lob plays to LeBron during those years, and a lot of plays with Shaq during that era. I think his is more memorable because of that. Not to say anything bad about Dirk, because Dirk was a killer. I firsthand witnessed it, but his was kind of boring, jump shot. Even though he created a shot, but it was just
killer, but not his weapon
vanilla.
of choice. Okay, I get you.
I would say Dirk had the more meaningful career because he changed our view of what 7-footers were and what they could do. And because of the international significance of what he did. And our view changed on international players. But if it's memorable, for me, it's not close. Right. It's D-Wade. Because of 2006, shout out Bennett Salvatore for that championship. But Dwayne Wade came into the fore, and we saw him grow next to Shaq and Gary Payton and all those boys, and he grabbed the reins and he won a championship.
He did.
And then he convinced LeBron to come down to Miami, and he taught LeBron James, this is how it goes when you win a championship. This is how you lead a team to a championship. So I look at the overall memories and even with the coughing. I mean, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James and that dynamic duo, no offense, Chris Bosh, but that's what you think of, those first two.
Yep.
And the impact and the impression, even the summer of LeBron, like Dwayne Wade was right in the heart of that changing the way we view the NBA and the way players in the league operate. That was the beginning of guys saying, I'm going to play where I want to play with who I want to play. For all that Dirk has done and how impressive it is that he did what he did, like Dwayne Wade had an impact on this league in a way that Dirk did not.
Let me flip the coin. I think that also robbed Dwayne Wade of some memorable moments and some of his prime. He shared that with LeBron and even let LeBron eclipse him in Wade County. And so when we're starting to split hairs between him and Dirk and someone else who's been somewhere for 21 years, lower expectations, but didn't also share that experience, it starts to tilt towards Dirk Nowitzki. Here's the thing what you said about energy plays and which way you rather see it. The thing is, as tough for Dwayne Wade is, someone already did what you did, MJ, and someone was doing what you're doing, Kobe. And then it's like, it's tougher to just say, I'm all in on you, Dwayne Wade, when I saw that and I'm seeing that. we didn't see Dirk before. We've never seen Dirk before. And I think because of that uniqueness, it kind of tilts it towards him.
Well, we never seen anything like Dirk, a 7-footer that can knock down shots. But again, I think it was just, it was expected. What do you think? What do they always say? Oh, the white guy, all he could do is shoot free throws and shoot threes, right? So it wasn't like for everybody else, they weren't thinking like, oh, this is something spectacular. They think, oh, this is what they do, in the hood. This is what they do anyway. Hey,
They
ain't
ain't
nothing
7 feet,
special.
though.
Yeah, they're not 7 feet. That's nothing special.
Eddie, I'm just going to push back a little bit again because we always try to interpret things from just our perspective. And so when we start talking about memorable, I get it. In the hood.
I'm talking about for everybody.
No, but in the hood, that may be the narrative on Dirk. But there's a whole lot more to America than
Oh, no
just the
doubt.
hood and
No
a
doubt.
International.
No
when you
doubt.
talk Dirk.
basketball. But there's a
No,
whole lot
but
more
I'm-
to basketball fans than just the. And so I don't think they saw Dirk as just like, oh, he can shoot jumpers and he can. No, he carried a franchise for basically 20 straight years.
He had help. He had a whole lot of. Steve Nash was there. Jason Kidd, first ballot Hall of Famer. Jason Terry was there.
But in the argument where everyone's saying, we want you to have the toughest role, Kevin Durant, oh, how could you join the Warriors? We're always saying, who can carry a franchise? Who did it?
D-Wade?
D-Wade did it, but he had Shaq. Shaq was
He
something.
left.
He
Yeah.
wasn't
He
was going
left.
down.
And he left.
He did leave. No,
Yeah.
he didn't leave on his own account. Pat didn't want to pay him.
Right. Well,
Pat didn't want to give him the right.
Well, I
he didn't want to give him the right
I
contract.
would have left too.
Yeah, he didn't want to get.
get my
He
money
was
first.
shortchanging him. He was like, hold
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
you can't shortchange me. I got to get up out of here.
Got to get up out.
I got to get that money.
Whitlock and Wiley, joined now by former Pro Bowler Sean Merriman. Let's move to the NFL, where Aaron Rodgers has been pushing back against all his critics this week. Not only did he deny the Bleacher Report story on his dysfunctional relationship with Mike McCarthy, he also offered another explanation for why the Packers disappointed last year, revealing that he played with a fractured leg for almost the entire season. All right, the question here is Aaron Rodgers trying to deflect from all the controversy around him and from the disappointing season, or is he just revealing the truth? I think he's trying to deflect. I think he's put this out there. There's all this controversy and conversation about he and Mike McCarthy, and he put this out there in the same interview to say, look how heroically I played last year. I didn't have to do that. I'm a great teammate. I'm a great Packer. I played all last year injured. I think he's protecting himself.
I can't argue that. I just think it's a different situation when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, the mental makeup. I think he's really adjusting to the criticism. This is a guy who has the new contract, which could take him into retirement if he desires. If not, he could get another big one. That changes how you approach things. Also, all the criticism. And basically the team not performing last year, and everyone's saying it's because of your leadership in part, you start to make adjustments. The beauty of being an athlete is you can self-correct. In the first quarter, I tried that move. Damn, Walter Jones just stuffed that move. In the third quarter, I'm going to set him up to do that same move. It worked. I think Aaron Rodgers has been doing the same move for many years of his career. And finally, he's doing that move at a different pace with a different intention. So we asked him to change. He's changing. We asked him to reveal more of himself, be a different leader. He's doing it. He's coming to the defense of someone else, and it wasn't Aaron Rodgers. He defended Mike McCarthy more so than himself. You ask him a question now, instead of being close to the vest or being dismissive, I'm going to tell you what's up. If we really want this guy to show us a different level, then we got to respect it when we see it actually occur.
Yeah, and I don't think he's deflecting at all. And you know what I really don't understand is when all these guys out here, former teammates and people who played with him or against him, saying all these things, as soon as he come out and say one thing, now he's deflecting. I just, I don't like that because what about just defending himself? Because all the injuries he said he's had, the MCL, which normally takes 2 to 4 weeks to heal, the bone fracture he had, the hairline fracture he had, that thing doesn't heal until you're completely off of it and you just let it heal on its own. So, yeah, you play with it for the entire season. But all these players and other people come out and say these things about Aaron Rodgers, and he come out and say, hey, guys, by the way, I was injured and I played with it. So, yeah, my game dipped a little bit. That's not deflecting. He's just telling you what it is. He's telling you I was hurt and I went out there and did what I was supposed to do. I don't feel like he's deflecting. I don't feel like his game dropped for any other reason. I don't believe any great quarterback of his stature drops tremendously or drops that bad unless you're injured. He's coming out and saying, okay, this is why we're injured, and I don't think anybody can dispute that.
And when this is coming out right now, this is the offseason. This is the time where you reset and look forward. not try to go backwards and rewind and try to change something that's already in the books. He knows that right now everyone is looking forward. He's just going to remind you that there's still a lot of greatness in here, and I had issues last year.
I guess I would have unpacked this a bit more in a calculated fashion. If I'm coming on to do an interview to basically defend myself and Mike McCarthy from this Bleacher Report article, I handle that.
Yeah.
OTAs have just started. You're going to be in town. I circle back a week later and then unpack this. I don't do them at the same time. It looks too coordinated. It looks like it's part of the deflection. And I wonder how, again, you know, the locker room, there's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different points of views. I wonder how this will play in the locker room. Again, when you start talking about last season, what are we, 1st of April? Mm-hmm. And now you're talking, the season's been over. They didn't make the playoffs, right?
No.
Yeah, the season's been over since like the first week in January. And now, oh, God, guys, played the whole year.
But to Merriman's point, you can't win that. Okay, you don't make the playoffs. The season's over. The next day you say, you know, I played the whole year hurt.
Why
Man,
not?
what you talking about? Like, there's no time.
He was almost forced. He was almost forced to come out and say it.
Yeah, there's no time where that lands softly. No matter when you say that,
You
it's
don't
going
think
to some
that would have
people.
landed great right after the season?
No, why? Because it'll sound like an excuse. Oh, you didn't make playoffs. Oh, now you were hurt. I hear it right
He
now.
had to come out and
Critics.
defend himself.
Yeah.
And Whit,
When does
not
that sound
to
better?
mention, so all these injuries and stuff that he's had, one thing about having an injury in the locker room is you spend a lot of time with those trainers. So anytime you going out there to practice, whoever has something that they're trying to heal, got a bag of ice on, they got a stim machine on, they're getting constant rehab. So I don't think anybody in that locker room is necessarily going to come out and saying he was lying or not telling the truth.
Oh, no.
And that played a big part in it because they actually seen his progression and seeing what happened on the season, really seen him injured.
I don't think that anyone thinks he's lying. I think they're going to why bring it out now? I can understand why you don't bring it out during the season because you don't want the opponents to know.
Yeah.
I get that. But as soon as the season's over, why not unpack it? This to me, you remember in the finals, I think it was last year, and as soon as the finals was over, LeBron put a cast on.
Oh, yeah.
Came to the press conference, hey, look at me. And
They ate him up.
but again,
But what if he award cast 4 months later and they say, what's that? Oh, I broke it when we were playing.
No. All I'm saying
You can't
is
win.
Aaron Rodgers and LeBron James, there's a lot of similarities between these guys. Super talented, a bit eccentric, think they're the smartest person in the room, and could really use some PR help and some strategy help in terms of controlling their image and narrative. And I liked how he defended himself, how he defended Mike McCarthy. I would have just left the injury excuse alone.
I got to get this off my chest because you know what? It's real comfortable in here right now. What is it, a nice 69 degrees because I sweat a lot. And we get here and sometimes forget how it is there. When Aaron Rodgers walks in the room, it's asteroids. Pew, pew. Everyone is shooting at him, question after question. From 5 years ago, forget the beginning of last season, and I respect what you're saying. You're saying there's a sequence of events, a sequence of unveiling that needs to be respected, almost a sophistication that he's not really buying into. But the problem is they fly at him so often and so numerous that when he responds to two of them, they just explode into this bigger thing than it is. I think he's actually approaching it the right way. It's just so much to unpack when you talk about a great one like him.
And I don't think he's running away from it. The problem is that you have, like you said, you have players still talking about what he did in 2008 and 2009.
Man.
So you can't address everything. So when he finally comes out and say that one thing, whatever that biggest topic is, they talk, I heard what he said. They said a bunch of things, but this is what got picked up the most. Him defending Mike McCarthy and also him talking about the injuries. He talked about a lot of other things too, but he can't address 8 years worth of people talking. So you come out to whatever's the topic and whatever's the topic now that people want to hear about. He just discussed it and moved on from it.
Let's move to Oakland, where Antonio Brown has been busy this offseason lobbing Twitter grenades at his old teammates, even after he got the trade he wanted. Well, now AB says he's done with his social media attacks, tweeting, quote, "Not giving you media fakes, no more ammo.
No more.
Enjoy my name, AB. I'm in Cali, living ready to ball, no nonsense. You trollers troll. To God Too good to worry. Call God.
You all right?
I screwed that up.
That was the easiest read you ever had.
Too many hashtags.
Too many hashtags.
Yeah. Call God, he said. AB, no nonsense. Are you kidding me? He is nonsense. That ain't going nowhere.
Look, I hope not. I mean, we do not sell sport without story and storylines, and I love this storyline. AB walking off the field every game. I had 7 for 108. What Juju get? Damn it, 9 for 143 and 2 touches all next week. I mean, I'm just into this. I love this level of feud. But this was an emotional response like all the responses have been. And Juju did fire the first shot, I felt, as a player. When you take a picture and you're in the front and AB, is in the background, when you know this is your team now as far as being a receiver, oh, I feel a certain way. I would never have taken that picture when Bruce Smith got released so I could be the starter. You think I'm going to post a picture with Bruce Smith in the background on the ground and I'm standing over the quarterback? I'm not that crazy. So I knew Juju's fired the first shot. AB is in an emotional place right now. There's calm, emotional waters. They'll get rough and choppy again when the season starts.
Oh, no doubt about it. And everything that AB does, it's a response to something. He never like just says something out of character, just out of the way. It always comes from somebody doing something else or somebody writing something else. So as long as that's going to be there and he got a phone in his hands with Wi-Fi to connect to the internet, he will be tweeting, posting, or doing something right away because he can't help himself. And let me tell you, when that thing starts, like you said, get rocky in Oakland, it's going to get worse because, you know, John Gruden will be the first one to throw you under the bus or say something. He's going to protect himself. AB going to feel a certain type of way, and that's when it's going to start again.
How about this? We ain't even got to wait for the season. Hard Knocks.
Oh.
They're the front runners for Hard Knocks. Gruden, Chucky in camp, AB learning the playbook, Derek Carr throwing it over his head. Oh, that's coming. And then Juju just tweet out like eyeballs looking sideways at the same moment when we're all watching that on HBO. Oh, it's coming, brother.
Yeah, AB not in control of his own emotions. Others are. Good luck with that, AB. All right, before we go, I'd like to offer some advice to my fellow Tiger Woods golf groupies on the eve of the Masters. Our happiness tomorrow and throughout the weekend is dependent upon our expectations and our perspective. I'll start with perspective because that will determine our expectations. 680 days ago, police arrested Tiger in Jupiter, Florida on suspicion of driving under the influence. He was asleep behind the wheel of his car, so delirious he told police he thought he was in California. Tiger was addicted to pain medication. 40 days earlier, he had had surgery to fuse his lower back. His back was so bad, he couldn't tie his shoes. He couldn't play with his kids. He could barely sleep. One of the greatest athletes of our generation couldn't function like a normal human being, let alone compete as a world-class golfer. Last season, Tiger Woods led the British Open on Sunday and finished 6th. Last season, Tiger shot a 64 in the final round of the PGA Championship and finished 2nd to Brooks Koepka. Last season, Tiger won his 80th tournament on the PGA Tour. Tiger Woods is 43 years old and ranked the 12th best player in the world. What he's doing late in his career is a medical and mental miracle. Self-inflicted wounds damaged his psyche, and the physical toll of the game damaged his body. When you examine Tiger's performance from the proper perspective, it's easy to see just how well he's actually playing. What he's doing now, post-back surgeries and post-Thanksgiving 2009, is quite impressive. Every tournament that Tiger fails to win sends me into a mini depression. We've invested more than 20 years hoping that Tiger would catch Jack Nicklaus's record of 18 major championships. Maybe we should let that dream go and just enjoy the time we have left with Tiger playing at a high level. The key to that is changing our expectations. I just want Tiger to make the cut on Friday. I just want to see him play for 4 days. By setting low expectations, we have a much better chance of Tiger exceeding them and making us happy. Let's return to Magic Johnson, who stunned the basketball world last night, abruptly stepping down as Lakers president after a tumultuous and disappointing season. Magic is leaving the Lakers with a lot of unanswered questions, but he sounds confident they'll be able to figure it out.
We're halfway there with LeBron coming. I think this summer with that other star coming in, whoever's going to bring him in, I think this team is going to be in position to really contend for championships with the growth of the young players.
Question is, how can the Lakers rebound from this? I heard something on Cowherd's show earlier today. Bill Oram, that covers the Lakers, suggested them going after Pat Riley, and I'd love that idea. I'd offer him a piece of the franchise. I think that's how you rebound from this. You got to get a Pat Riley or offer Jerry West half the damn team.
Exactly, right? They are in poach mode. They definitely have to go out and get someone who is well qualified, established, about that life in terms of effort, commitment, who's just doing it. And I still don't have belief that this will work. I don't expect the Lakers to rebound from this and all of a sudden be championship contenders. And this is going to sound like a shot at Jeannie Buss, but it's not at the person. It's more as her as an owner and personnel. Remember, this team has not been to the playoffs since the change in ownership, since Dr. Buss has left. The tough part is, they say in every relationship you got to show them an ounce of crazy so they can know there's some borders. You have to turn that smile upside down sometimes so people can understand that everything doesn't go. And her respect for what her father accomplished and the reverence and the mystique and the style in which he did it is the marriage that she is a part of that is actually hurting this team right now. They go back. Every time there's a new hire, let's go back into the Lakers lore. Every time there's a new situation on the court, what would Showtime have done in terms of box office and production, instead of just looking at it in the new lens? And it's tough because she is such a woman of class and character, but she's also almost too classy for this position, which ownership sometimes, and we've all been around it, they have to look you in the eye sometimes and say, do this or. And I haven't seen that, and I've been examining it. I've been on local LA radio. We covered the Lakers. I know all the moves and transactions, and I just haven't seen the devilish one that lets me know there's a flip side to this. I don't see how they're going to respond.
I don't think they're going to – I'm not expecting them to respond. I think they don't have enough time. They're on a time crunch right now. You got to find a president. We don't know if Luke Walton's coming back, and is Rob Pelinka going to come back? So that's a storm in itself that you got to calm down and get that, let the dust settle there. Then on top of that, you got to go into free agency. Then you got to go into the draft. It's so much that has to be done in such a short period of time. And I think Magic swept the rug from underneath their feet and now have them scramble, because they were expecting him to be there. So now with that happening, they're moving around frantically trying to figure out how are we going to replace the president, and does the president want Pelinka to be working with him? You got to have them be on the same page. The GM and the head coach got to be on the same page. So how do you get all that together and then entice a superstar to come and play with LeBron when a lot of these stars don't want to play with him, not because LeBron is impossible to play with, it's because they're chasing him. They want to be, if you're on a team with him and you win a championship, you stay right there.
Yep.
You know, so you never are able to
add to his legacy.
Yeah, you never are able to surpass him. So the superstars are not coming when it seems like it's so enticing and it's so easy and it's a no-brainer to go play with LeBron, but they're trying to create their own legacy and they're chasing to be the best in the face of the NBA. So it's going to be tough for them. So I don't expect it.
There are two things that Magic said that jumped out at me. The first one was whoever brings in that other star. And I'm thinking, okay, it's April, the season's over, and we don't even know who that is that's going to be going after who they need to bring in. So first of all, you have to figure out your front office. You're already behind the 8 ball. Yep. And then you get your front office together. Hopefully it's good enough to go out and get you that other star. Unlikely. The other part he said was, and we're just that step away from winning a championship. Can we stop raising the expectations beyond any reason? I mean, this is what happened with Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
You brought him in and you said his jersey's going to be up on the wall. If you hadn't done that, right now we'd be looking at Lonzo Ball and saying, you know what, he's a pretty good player. I think he's a building block for the future.
Yeah.
Instead, it's, oh, wait a minute, he was supposed to be the next Magic Johnson. He reminds me of myself. Now everybody grades him on that level. So this is where look, the reality is, they are so far behind the 8 ball right now. Let's not talk about championships. Let's try to get the front office in order. and see what LeBron needs and then go from there.
I thought her comments indicated that that's what they're going to do. When she said something about being methodical about their approach moving forward, I don't think they're going to rush into anything.
They ain't got no time.
I think there's going to be a bit of a reboot.
That may be the case, but is that going to satisfy LeBron James if you are taking the methodical approach?
No, LeBron James is done here, but that's my opinion.
But we've heard this before. I mean, this is a 6-year and running problem. Let's go back, and I hate to play the lowlights, but we forget at times. Steve Nash, and that didn't work out.
Dwight
Unfortunate. Begging Dwight Howard came here injured, and then there were hashtag D12s and billboards up for Dwight Howard. That wasn't a necessarily calculated, methodical move. Kobe's last 2 years, people saw that.
I don't think they were in win-now mode. I think
They're not in win-now mode with a 34-year-old?
Not now, because I think they know the LeBron thing is a failure. It failed to launch.
I don't
and
think
it's
it was
not coming off of the. It is a failure.
No,
They
because
won
if he
30.
No meetings from
yeah, but
stars?
if he didn't get hurt, you think about what their record was before. If he, I mean, you can't account.
If I was 100 pounds,
no, but that's totally
he
different.
Got hurt, Eddie.
But you ain't doing nothing to stop that, are you?
That's response. Yeah, right. You stop winning the game.
Uncle Jimmy's here. Let's get to your big dummy of the day.
Voila.
First of all, I'm gonna get a big dummy of the day, and I apologize, America. I apologize for this man sitting up here leaving you and burning the vision in your memory Rolodex, talking about him being a swimsuit model.
Oh, yeah,
I
that
apologize, America.
Oh, my lunch. Oh, it's coming up. It's going to come up.
I didn't need that visual. Let's go.
Highlight from our discussion
Let's go.
earlier about Magic Johnson. He quit because he didn't want to do the hard work of actually being an executive. Worse, he wasn't man enough, responsible enough, or professional enough to tell his boss, Jeannie Buss.
He finally came up for air. He finally said enough is enough, man. I got to take care of myself and get back to all the winning that I'm doing outside of this Lakers franchise. He didn't damage his legacy.
All right, Uncle Jimmy, what's your take?
First of all, man, I'm gonna let the record speak for itself. I don't really care what any of y'all saying. Uncle Jimmy would rather quit than be fired any day, okay? I ain't really understand that. There's two guys like y'all. Y'all give quitting a bad reputation.
That's your take?
That's your take. Really?
You can do better. Come on.
Okay, so let me guess. Y'all gonna sit up here and act like y'all ain't never been fired. I know for a fact you've been fired. I remember when you got fired from ESPN and you called me crying. Come on. I'm there, Chewbacca. Easy. You know, but I bet you'd have preferred to quit. Huh? Hey, wait. What about you, Dark Vader? Huh? What about when the Cowboys fired you?
Oh,
I bet you wish you'd have quit.
I quit in the third game the way I played.
Okay.
You're right. I wish.
Look here, bro. Magic worth $500 million, baby.
More than that.
Okay, and what y'all call that on the streets? F you money, right? Hey, Uncle Jimmy call it F everybody money. Okay. Hey, what's the sense in having all that money if you can't tell somebody, hey, man, F you? Magic done exactly what he's supposed to do with all that money.
Yeah.
He living his best life. Hey, you know what? Last night, Magic made me put some spec on his name.
Why? He wasn't man enough to tell Jeannie Buss face to face.
Ooh.
But look here, man, let me tell you something. You said what?
He wasn't man enough to tell Jeannie Buss face to
Jason,
face.
that's what lawyers is for, man. Look, man, I quit every one of my ex-wives. Never said nothing to him personally. When I divorced Madessa, hey, bro, I had the lawyer catch her Wednesday, 7 o'clock weigh-in at Craig Jennings. Bam, got her.
Craig Jennings?
Bam, got her. When I left Keita, caught her right there. Caught her walking straight out of Pizza Hut. Bam, got you. Gave him them papers.
No delivery?
Nothing.
So you like Magic being afraid of hard work. You respect that.
Oh, wow.
I say what?
You like Magic being afraid of hard work.
Hey, man. Hey, Uncle Jimmy ain't. Hey, man, me and Magic, we smart. When you got the smile and the charisma that me and Magic got, you don't quit no woman face to face. You never know the effects that could have. It could have a volatile reaction. You know, because I'm going to tell you right now, Uncle Jimmy got that whip appeal.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want. it's all right with me. You got that whip appeal. Come whip it on Magic and me. Watch out now.
Babyface, huh? That's who you are.
Wendy, that was a good
All right,
song
listen.
before you sang it.
It really
Are
was.
you in your feelings?
All right, let me get to my approval rating.
Damn,
for
Dark.
Magic Johnson.
Dark Vader.
Marcellus'
wait a
shot,
minute.
57.
57? Your favorite player, right?
Job player. We talk about job performance. He was an executive. He just quit. I got him at a 2 in job performance. 25 all-time greatness.
Disgusting.
Character, he wouldn't even tell his boss he quit.
She know
Dropped
now,
him to
though.
a 6. Authenticity, he's leaning all into authenticity.
Boy.
He's a quitter. He's right on brand. A 24, 57 total.
Oh, man, I have to respect the authenticity. We can't go higher than 25, but goodness, he went all in. Character, I actually brought him up 2 notches.
So you brought him down
I
2
know,
notches.
I know. I wanted to say something good about Magic. You've had better moments in the way you handled it, but other than that, I can't really knock the guy. Job performance takes a little L, but
Don't
this is
throw
not,
that up here.
This is not his Oh, man, what is Boy, what was that?